Hello and welcome to Ashland boys basketball against Norton here tonight. What's the date?
Today is
January 2nd, 2018.
I'm Connor
Welcome.
Donovan.
I'm Todd Carter.
And Happy New Year, Todd.
Happy New Year to you. I was going to say, it's an exciting time.
Yeah, first game of the new
coming.
year,
Yeah.
kicking it off.
You know, the power duo here.
Absolutely, the dynamic duo, as some have said. That's some being me.
We are getting excited here. Ashland, the tip.
Tip-off's going to be called back.
Yeah, it was, Oh.
All right.
Looks like Ashland may have jumped too early, maybe? I'm not sure what happened there.
I call that a pretty good start for Norton in that case.
Yeah, but we were just watching. They have freshmen and then JV before the varsity basketball games. Freshmen won, I believe, by 4.
Right, it was a pretty close game,
Yeah.
freshman.
The pretty close game. JV, though,
Not so much.
not so much. I think Norton won by 15. I can't remember the exact scores, but a Norton win for the JV matchup as we prepare for the varsity. So between those two games, it's hard to tell now because,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
the close win with the freshmen, the loss, sadly, with the JV, and now you don't know how this game is going to go. It could
Right.
go either way.
And you hate to call it like that, but as we were saying with the girls' game last week, it was kind of a precursor. The girls kind of dominated in their JV game and then dominated in their regular game.
Exactly.
So it's a factor.
Yeah. So we're getting excited here. Looks like we're going to have Trevor DeParron here passing up. Lost ball on the ground. The toss up. Who was that? Number 20, Jared Sicard. And did he finish it? Was that Sicard who just finished it? I was looking down at the sheet.
I believe it was, yeah. And already we're seeing number 1 from Norton, McKinley Kersley. He's definitely showing why he's a captain. He may have missed his 2 free throws that he put up, but he's definitely showing some leadership on the court right now.
The other captain for Norton is number 20, Jared Sicard. So.
Oh, right, of course. The 2 captains putting in work already. It's the top of this game.
And that's a big factor in many basketball games. You want your leaders being the ones that really demonstrate everything
Right.
for you.
Dictate the pace, yeah. And is that going to be an offensive foul on Norton? Oh, no. That's
no,
actually going to be...
it's going to be on Ashland. We're all excited here. Technology all around us. We're going to be getting some little extra stats coming your way.
Right, absolutely.
See how the boys did last week. I don't know if they played any games. They had some scheduled, I believe.
Right, I believe that they played, it says that they played Hudson here on maxpreps.com, but no score reported for that. So
okay, I'm gonna go and look at the MIAA website and see what I can get from there. The shot 3 is no good. That was, I believe that was number 15 from Ashland, who is Jason Christensen.
some familiar faces I'm seeing here coming back from last year, and seeing a lot of these kids that have, I'm sure, come into their own this season. Kids that we see were freshmen or sophomores last year.
Exactly, yep.
Coming back and really leading the team, like Jason Christensen being one of them.
Trevor DeParron now.
And Trevor DeParron, of course, always been such a solid player. The speed on him.
Christensen almost with the offensive rebound, taken away by Norton. Norton doing such a good job.
Yeah, it seems like good
On the boards, yeah.
good defense, good offense on both sides here. Norton just seems to be finding it. But as I say that, was that DeParron again? No, Jason Arms. Getting down with that.
I don't know what they're calling that. If it was out of bounds with Trevor DeParron, maybe? Or maybe a 3-second violation down low.
Right.
Hard to tell, but
And Kearsley going to inbound this to Sam Baker. They're just going to hurl this down the court. Oh, Kersley going to take it all the way.
Did you see that little windmill at the end there?
Put some flair on it.
Beauty.
That's quite a play. He just inbounded it and sprinted to the other end of the court here.
I might be a little biased towards Ashland, but you got to give respect.
Oh yeah, that
was a beautiful windmill. As Ashland looks to make a play of their own, looking for their first points of the night.
I can't find it.
What's that going to be? I think they're going to call that a push on number 3, Sam Baker.
And we were talking about this before, but Norton certainly has the height over Ashland in this circumstance, or at least what we're seeing here. As they tried to go up and get that layup, but they couldn't really find it just because they were overpowered by the height of Norton. As this is going to be a 3 from number 3 on Ashland, Kevin Rabideau. And now those are Ashland's first points on the board as it's 3-6 here.
Yup. Rabideau. We've seen that name before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So actually, I believe we saw Spencer, who was on the team before, out here tonight.
Supporting his brother?
Yep.
It's good to see. That's good to see.
Always good to see the family around, supporting one another. And, of course, some words of wisdom, I imagine, before the game.
Absolutely. And what was that? Are they calling that a travel on number 24 for Ashland? Kevin Russell?
Is that it? No, they're going to say that's on DeParent.
Huh.
That'll be his first foul of the night.
Another inbound from Kersley here.
Oh, the pass down low.
And who's going to inbound it? Number 34, Nick Ruby, the forward senior from Norton here.
Oh, that shot was so close. The hardest is in that back corner. Here's the steal. Who's that? Kersley? Number 1? McKinley Kersley with
Kersley
the steal.
to McAller, Griffin McAller, who's going to put up a free throw. Excuse me. And now it's going to be a 3-8 ball game with Norton taking the lead, and it looks like Ashland's just being a little. Oh my gosh!
Some fast breaks here. Great job keeping it in bounds, but goes back to Ashland.
Ashland just seems like they're playing a little bit sloppy on offense, and I don't know if that's a testament to a weak offense on Ashland's side or just a really good defense on Norton's side.
I think that's a great defense on Norton's side. The only thing Norton needs to do, they love those fast breaks. None of that. None of that.
Yeah, that was kind of an ambitious fast break from Kersley, tipping it to his teammate, but couldn't really find him.
Oh, it's stolen. Some sloppy offense from Ashland.
And McAller is going to put up another 2. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could just be like a sloppy offense on Ashland's side.
Some passes that you don't typically see from this Ashland team are happening tonight. Usually they are, very simple short passes.
Right, by the
very
books.
direct.
Fundamentals team.
Yeah, fundamentals. They're trying to throw it across court tonight, and it's not working. They got to go back to the basics.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're seeing that on this play here. DeParent setting up the play, calling it.
Right.
Pass outside, back to DeParent. DeParent down low.
It was quite a pass, up for 3.
The 3, it's good. Who was that? Was that Rabideau?
I believe that was Rabideau. Either
was that
number 3 or number 13. I couldn't really see. So either Rabideau or Cameron Hardy going to put up that 3. And both of Ashland's points have come from 3s here as it's 6-10 with Norton still in the lead.
So first time out here, Ashland wanted to call that quick. So 3 fouls for either side. So,
Game's
pretty
moving along.
Pretty well balanced. The big thing is Ashland is now going to start putting up those points. They need to start putting up those points.
Right.
And they've had their opportunities, but sloppy passing has been the issue this game for Ashland so far.
Yeah, just an overall lack of commitment, I would say, on the offensive side.
I would agree.
And their defense is good, but I don't know. You're gonna let some through here and there, and I think that's how Norton's found their.
It's the fast breaks for Norton. That's
Yeah.
where their offense is really based on, and Ashland needs to flip that and use it to its advantage because it is very easy to draw the offensive foul.
Yeah.
They can just wait under the hoop, put somebody there, and then you gotta flop.
Just gotta hit the deck.
Hit the deck right when they come up at you.
But either way, Norton coming out strong here. It seems that Ashland we're in for a good game tonight, I would say.
Exactly. Yeah, I would have to agree. It looks like we're gonna have a foul here. We'll wait to see who it's on.
Number 24 from Ashland.
Kevin Russell. Yeah. And he played a little bit last year. He's a sophomore this year. And from what I hear from my internal sources here, great three-point shooter.
Yeah.
2 fouls on the night. He could have been one of the ones that hit a 3 based on the 2 threes Ashland has so far tonight.
Absolutely. And Norton, it's early in the game, but I think still worth mentioning. Norton is 1 for 4 on free throws so far.
Yeah, that is worth mentioning.
Oh my gosh, what a break.
Yeah. Again, see what I was talking about, though? You need to take the flop there.
Right, you need to do something.
There's that fast break. They're based on getting the steal, getting the fast break, and going. Really good coverage, though, by this Norton defense here tonight.
Yeah, not really letting them by.
They are making Ashland work for even the simple passes. But that's what Ashland needs to learn to do. They need to stick to the basics. See? Not basic there.
that's not basic. They're just kind of looking. They need to look for their. I mean, they are inbounding the ball, but I'm not really seeing a lot of cuts in the paint there.
Yep.
Just seems like Rabideau and DePerrin throwing it back and forth, looking for their opening. But as the shot clock says, they're not really finding any.
Yeah. And I don't know anything about what's going on tonight as far as who's in or who's out for Ashland. I'm not used to the starters now. I'm used to last year's right now for boys. I'll get used to the new roster tonight.
Right.
But we could be seeing some missing pieces from what I heard today.
You think so?
Yeah, well, if we had some conversations with people today, and it looks like a lot of kids were not at school today.
Oh, that's true. Coming back from the new year, January 2nd, they're starting up, and a lot of kids not really feeling it.
Yeah, I guess
I can't say I blame them.
But yeah, January 2nd, the new year, and that's not the way to start it off right, though.
That's
not
true. That's very true.
But again, so you could be seeing some missing pieces because I believe if a kid doesn't show up to school, they can't play in the game.
Yeah.
The drive to the net, that windmill doesn't work this time. Ashland's seen that before. They're not going to let it happen again.
Oh, and number 34 from Norton, Nick Ruby.
Good job of DePerrin.
A force.
Sorry, but good job of DePerrin also getting back to the ball, not giving up. And that's how Ashland needs to play tonight.
Ooh, can't finish their fast break that time. That's unfortunate on Norton's end.
But again, a lot of these Norton points are coming from those fast breaks.
Yeah.
Make them set up their offense. They're not as good when they actually have to set it up. And Ashland's in business. So an extra key to the game. Get back and play defense quick so they don't have that fast break opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah.
Take the charge.
But it seems that even with that, it's kind of a double-edged sword for Ashland because when they start to set up their offense, you see kind of the daunting height of some of these Norton players.
Yeah, that's something we noted before, too, is these Norton players are ridiculously tall compared to their Ashland counterparts.
Like the one that's standing out to me is number 34 on Norton, Nick Ruby, who's just like, he just seems like a brick wall by comparison to a lot of these Ashland kids who just can barely get over him.
Yeah, Jason Christensen has the task of trying to get in the paint with him tonight, which is proven to be a difficult matchup.
And but despite that, Ashland putting up 2 more. And as this first period is going to come to a close.
Ooh, that might be a foul. Yeah, I could hear that smack on the wrist.
Yeah, I don't really know about that.
That's number 13 of Ashland, Cameron Hardy, with his first foul.
Had some Norton fans standing up here.
Yeah, you see number 4, Thomas Bingle, will go to the line and shoot his free throws real quick.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't say I blame them for reacting. That was a pretty blatant foul if I've ever seen one. Ooh, and that's going to be 2 free throws, and that's going to put Newton up a sizable 3
But he
here.
gets 3 because he shot it, and he was fouled as he shot it. That's going to.
Ooh. And just like that, those 3 points are putting Newton at a pretty sizable lead.
Yep, that'll double.
Right.
The score now. Because he hit 3 in a row. He's 3 for 3, which, you know, compared to what were they, 1 and 4 before?
They were 1 and 4.
So now they're what, 4 and 7? Yeah, 4 and 7.
And
so
just like that, it's just it became manageable for Ashland, and now it's looking like they're going to have to put in a lot more work than they originally needed to this second quarter here, heading into the half.
So, you know, Coach Isaiah Davis.
Right, along with assistant coach John Irusi and Jorge Reyes.
Yeah, they're gonna talk it out right now, figure out their game plan, how to attack this now. What do you think they do?
What do I think they do? I mean, it just seems like they were kind of getting into the swing of it beforehand. They were putting up some points. They were finding their opportunities. They just they need to take it easy, calm down a little bit. We were talking about fundamentals earlier, and I think they just got to get back to those fundamentals. Look for their openings.
DePerrin will get the inbound. DePerrin with that pass. Jason Arms. Underneath, it's Christensen.
Wow, what a drive by Christensen.
Good job of him getting around. Who was that for?
I
Number
actually
34,
didn't see.
I think, Nick Ruby, the senior forward, getting around him.
Ooh.
It's many opportunities for this Norton team, and that's not going to fall for them. But no, they're going to call that Ashland ball. I thought that was a foul on Ashland, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a good look if you're Ashland right now. An offensive foul at this point in time. But yeah, hats off to Christensen on that drive. Don't really want to gloss over it because he put the arm up there, being one of Ashland's tallest kids, brought the ball back down and made quite the drive.
He did. And DePerrin, I think that's a foul here.
He drew it himself?
Yep, and I think what's going to end up happening is, inbound. They didn't say he got the shot off in time. Pass outside. DePerrin underneath.
Dylan Feinberg up, can't find the net.
Yeah, Dylan Feinberg with the pass to Jason Arms. Jason Arms just a little too small underneath. And is this a foul from Ashland? It is. One-on-one going to the line. One-on-one. So Nick Ruby taking the foul shots here for Norton. Senior forward. He's going to drain the first one, meaning he gets a second one.
Right.
He gets a second opportunity here.
And as far as fouls go, we've been seeing a pretty high foul game, high count game in terms of fouls.
Well, next time Norton fouls, Ashland will get its 1-on-1 chances, depending on if they take the shot or not. And hello to all you Facebook viewers out there.
Oh, true. We are actually live on Facebook right now.
Yep. Just wanted to say hi to all of our wonderful people.
Ooh,
they're
going
to call that a foul and one. Who is that?
Is that
We're trying to see. That's Jason Christensen. He's going to step up. He's going to be a big piece to this Ashland offense tonight. And believe it or not, we're only a minute into the second quarter.
Oh, I know.
This is getting intense quick.
Oof, that's kind of a rough look for Ashland. A 1-on-1 scenario.
Well,
really bring momentum
that
back
was
to their-
just one, but
Well, a 1-on-1 scenario that didn't end up panning out.
well, no, it was because he got the 2 beforehand, so he wouldn't have gotten. It was just one
Oh, I gotcha.
opportunity, but
Right.
But oh, there we go again. Oh,
DeParrin.
I'm getting excited in this game. I don't know if you can tell. I'm becoming a fan. I'm becoming a super fan, actually. Is that gonna be? That's gonna be a Norton foul. And that's gonna bring Arms to the line.
And if I'm Ashland, I want to be hitting these free throws right now. Kind of bring some momentum back to their side.
Yep. I don't know if he had the shot before. He didn't, so it's 1-1. So unable to drain the first, so we won't get a second as Norton prepares their offense. And again, this is what Ashland wants, is they want to make them actually run some offensive plays.
Right. Force them to do that, basically.
Yep.
And McAllister can't find the net. And a fast break of Ashland's own. Arms up, but can't find the net. Back out to DeParrin. Ooh, throwing it around the key, but number 14, Sean McNichols, gets in the way. And that's going to be an Ashland inbound.
DeParrin. 3 is no good. Foul underneath. I think it's an over the back, which will bring Arms to the line
Arms
again.
back to the line.
And typically Arms is a great shooter, so I would be surprised if he were to miss this.
Right.
He missed his first one, but
ooh. And now we're kind of seeing that gap caused by these lack of free throw hits really start to show itself as they're down 6 points. They're keeping it close, but it could be even closer if Ashland were to hit these free throws.
yeah.
And wow, Nick Ruby getting up there and finishing what his teammates started.
Well, he is truly athletically gifted. Feinberg. It's like, I think Ruby with the block shot. The inbound here to the outside. The
Ooh, that's
3
an air
try,
ball.
no good.
And the fast break from Norton.
Ooh, is that going to be foul or no? Wait
Griffin
to see.
McAllister, really, he's fond of those fast breaks, and he seems to do the same thing, the cross up behind the back every time, and I think Ashland's kind of catching on to it.
That they are. And surprise no foul, which is good for Ashland. Underneath, Kersley, great job getting the offensive rebound. And we're going to have a foul here.
Jared Sicard draws the foul, the captain, the senior captain.
He's going to go to the line, shoot 2. I believe he was in the shooting motion during, so yep, he will get his 2.
And I don't know, I'm comparing it to the girls' game on Thursday, but there were a lot of free throws being hit in the girls' game, and we're not really seeing the same thing here.
I know, which is concerning because we've had many opportunities tonight.
On both sides, I would say.
So something to work on in practice this week.
Is that Christensen
Yep.
going up for it, but can't find the net. Gets in Ruby's face again.
Ruby not backing down. He is a beast underneath.
Yeah. It looks like they put in number 4 for Norton, Thomas Bingle. And he's going to start shooting it around the key. Was that through the legs to number 20? And then Ruby sinks it.
Ruby, he is a beast.
That was through the legs to Sicard, and then Sicard to Ruby to put up 2. And now it's a 10-point game as we're nearing the halfway to the half.
Good job underneath. I believe that was Thomas Morrison.
Right, just answering right back.
Ashland, yep. 22-14 is the score. Norton is up. Oh, the shot. No foul.
Yeah, I was about to say, you think he's trying to draw a foul there?
I think he was, but there was nothing there. A little bit of a flop.
That's rough if you're
The
DeParent.
fast break. Total travel right. No?
Was McKinley Kearsley fouled? Is he going to go to the line now?
I could not fit.
It looks like it.
Yeah, Kersley was fouled. He'll
By
go to the
DeParent.
line.
So that's rough if you're DeParent, getting the ball stolen from you and then getting a foul called on you. Oh, I apologize. Not Kearsley. It looks like
Oh,
it's gonna
that's
be
a
14.
technical. We're going to see Thomas Bingle go to, or no, sorry.
Sean McNichols.
Sean McNichols go to the line alone. He's the sophomore guard for Norton. His first shot is good. Yeah, that's not a good look for Ashland. Because here's what happens with a technical. They get those 2 shots. Next thing that happens, Norton gets the ball. Underneath, nonetheless.
And technicals are easily preventable by, in contrast to just regular fouls, right?
Yeah, well, I think Trevor's might have been from a flagrant foul.
Right.
Whereas, sometimes you'll get a technical from running your mouth.
Exactly. That's what I think a technical is.
Yeah, typically that's typically what it is. That's typically what you're gonna see. I think they're saying that Trevor went in with a little bit of malicious intent on his foul on McNichols, who now has the ball and is driving. The shot, no good. Good job by Christensen getting the rebound.
Yeah, it seems like offensively, Christensen and Feinberg are really the only people who can step up to this gigantic Norton team. Other than that, they need to focus on their threes. Ashland does.
And, of course, we've heard the Feinberg name here before.
Oh, absolutely.
1,000-point scorer for Ashland. And that's his brother.
Clearly no slouch himself.
Yep. Although, as we say that, he gets scored on.
He gets scored on. I wasn't going to mention it, but, it happens.
Yep. This is a fantastic Norton team. I must admit, this is a fast team. They've got that good mix, too. They've got the speed. They've got the guy who's an absolute beast.
Right, yeah.
They have that senior leadership that is very present. You've seen McKinley Kersley, number 1, and Jared Sicard, number 20, playing a huge role in this offense and on the defensive side of the ball as well. So,
and I think this is a good call by Ashland. Just kind of call the timeout, diffuse tensions a little bit.
Yeah, the game's getting a little out of hand now for Ashland, who's they're down 15 right now. Scores Ashland 14, Norton 29.
Yeah, this is a regroup timeout if I've ever seen it.
And we're slowly but surely getting the MIAA website up as we wait to see what Ashland had done last week. So nothing for scores yet, actually, from last week, which is something we're not used to seeing here. Connecting to APS guest here at the Ashland Public Schools.
And it looks like there's going to be an inbound from Ashland here. So there's about 3 minutes left in the half.
And a good opportunity there for them to regroup.
No foul called on number 13, Cameron Hardy, as he goes down. And oh my goodness, a dunk.
You don't see that very often in high school basketball, folks. That's an exciting moment.
Excuse my vernacular, but I think they're stunting on him, Todd.
Oh.
Seems like they're stunting on him a little bit.
Yep. Ashland, Christensen's going to go to the line. So Ashland's going to look to get these points back.
A lot of momentum on Norton's side right now as they're up by 16, 17 points.
That's something that's very helpful, too. Momentum.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it enough, but once a team gets momentum, it's hard to stop.
Why do you think Ashland called that timeout? They gotta call that timeout to halt Norton's momentum, but it didn't really seem to work. If that dunk is any indication.
Yeah, I would say so.
But Christian's going to get 1 point from off that free throw. Let's see if Ashland can answer back here. Playing a more aggressive defense. So it seems as though they've switched something up.
So the last time Connor and I, oh my gosh. Whoa. Number 10, Matt Goodman, the senior guard, with the 3 for Norton.
DeParron looking around. Well, that's into Christensen. Can't find the net. Surprised they pulled. I don't see Feinberg in there.
Yeah, I don't see him either.
No, but it looks like they've put in number 24, Kevin Russell.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go for those threes. They're gonna start jumping in for those desperation threes. That could be an. Nope, it's gonna be a defensive. Good try for the offensive foul, but no cigar.
Yeah, Norton's just seems to be a really all-around just great team when it comes to, you see them, they're really adept at drawing fouls, is what I've noticed.
Oh,
which isn't a slight to them by any means. It's part of the game, but it's just there's a skill to doing it well, and Norton's definitely doing it well right now.
And Jared Sicard there drains one of his 2. DeParron underneath.
DeParron says, look, I'm just going to do it myself. DeParron drives it in there.
He's done. He's mad tonight. He does not like getting blown out. He is a competitor if I have ever met one.
And there's a fast break, and was that DeParron again?
That was DeParron again.
Put up 4 points in 2 drives. Maybe that's the momentum Ashland needed. And as you said, they're putting Russell down under the net because they're expecting those fast breaks.
Yes, they are. And look at this. Ashland gets the ball back. Again, good timeout here by Ashland's coach, Isaiah Davis. And now we're going to see a fired-up DeParron.
Right.
DeParron doesn't foul very often, too. He already has 2 on the night, which I don't think he's used to.
Right, yeah.
And I think that kind of pisses him off, especially with the technical he got. So I think
we're not saying it's an answer. We're not really saying it's an answer for Ashland here, but it's something.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I mean, I would be afraid playing basketball against a pissed-off DeParron.
Absolutely. Ooh, is that an offensive foul on number 20 of Norton?
I think so. I think Jared Sicard with the foul. That's his second. Only 30 seconds left in the first half.
I don't know if they're quite confirming on offense the way they should be, but it seems that Ashland's defense has definitely stepped up here.
And we're going to go to the line here. Kevin Russell.
And they're definitely getting used to Kevin Russell, as you suggested in the first quarter. Putting him under the net really stuffs those fast breaks.
Yeah. Well, you need to answer with height sometimes.
Right.
And that's something Kevin Russell has. Not saying Feinberg doesn't have that too, but I think maybe you put Kevin Russell in there. Maybe he's more your defensive guy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, different players are valuable in different circumstances.
You got to trust your coach, Isaiah Davis, knows what he's doing, because it seems to be working. Ashland seems to be responding.
Definitely responding, I would say, in the sense that they just got 6 unanswered points here. Where it was a 20-point lead, they've trimmed it down to a 14-point lead as we're kind of wrapping up the half here.
Yeah, and something to note here as well, the clock is currently running. We have 10 seconds now, 9, 8, and so Norton needs to take a shot to at least bring the clock down to 0. They have 2 seconds to shoot it. They're going to have, we have 2.9 seconds now.
Yeah, McNichols going to get the ball shoved out of his hand, and Norton's going to inbound that.
Yeah, and the big thing there is no foul from Ashland. Oh, that's going to be a shot clock violation. The shot's going to be no good. Ashland has 1.5 seconds to score. 1.6 to be exact.
This is, I gotta say, this is the making of one of those crazy high school videos you see on Reddit and stuff, where they just take like a full court.
DeParron, the full court, no good. I don't know if he got it off before the buzzer. But
Yeah, I don't know.
it was a decent shot, actually.
It's nice to dream. It's nice to dream that I'll see one of those in my lifetime, in person. And Ashland's gonna take it into the locker room. And if I'm Isaiah Davis, I'm liking what I'm taking into the locker room here.
I would agree. So, build off that momentum, try and cut the lead even more, try and cut Norton's lead even more.
Right.
And with that, we will be right back. You're watching Ashland Varsity Boys Basketball here on WACA-TV.
Hi, I'm Jake Silver here with Mahali Kosafakis, a sub on the Ashland Boys varsity team. All right, Mahali, I'm just going to ask you 5 simple questions, starting with what's your favorite color?
I'm going to have to go with the Ashland Clocker Blue.
Love it, love it. If you could live off of one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably some chicken. I love chicken.
I mean, good in protein, I think. I'm not a nutritionist
chicken,
guy.
Chicken has protein.
All right, good. If you could be stranded on a desert island for 2 months with one of your teammates, who would it be?
I'll probably have to go with O-Dog as well.
Owen?
O-Dog, yeah.
Owen Lovely? All right.
Lovely.
All right. And what's your favorite college? Do you have a favorite college team or anything?
I like Duke. Duke because I just like Duke.
If you say Grayson Allen.
Say who?
If you say you like him because of Grayson Allen.
No, I just like Duke.
Okay. And last one. If you can compare yourself to one player in the NBA, who would it be? I think I already know the answer.
I'll go with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
There we go.
Big freak.
There we go. All right, Mahali. Thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We're up and running again here at Ashland High School. I'm Todd Carner.
And I'm Connor Donovan, as we're about to get into some second half action here at Ashland versus Norton.
Little funny thing, I almost said Todd Connor.
Todd Connor.
Todd Connor Donovan. So, again, a very exciting first half. Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Absolutely. And I would say very exciting, more so second quarter than first quarter.
I would say the same. And one thing that Ashland needs to take is that enthusiasm and that could you say mojo that they had?
Oh yeah,
towards
it was
the end of that second quarter.
Some big time mojo, if I've ever seen big time mojo. But there's Norton again with the fast breaks. They haven't forgotten how to play their game.
Was that Kersley underneath?
It was.
The senior captain. Deep pass underneath. Christensen. He'll finish.
Gonna put it up, yeah. And already we're seeing back and forths from both teams. And it looks like they put out Kevin Russell, as you were saying earlier. They elected to put in Russell over Feinberg. Excuse me.
Interesting choice.
Well, you said that he's better at threes, and it looks like that's what they're going to try to emphasize here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's if it's his threes, his range there, or maybe it's his defense. Maybe that's what they're looking at underneath. I also don't know how many fouls Feinberg has. He could have 3 fouls. There were a lot of fouls that last half. They stopped the counter at 10 on the scoreboard, but
it was more than 10.
Yeah, it's 10 plus is what it really is. So it could be anywhere from 10 to 200. We don't know.
By the amount of people going to the line, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 200 fouls.
We might have had 200 foul shots. But something that Ashland is going to need to improve on in this second half of the game is their foul shooting, actually.
Definitely.
I think
we
could have.
Fiercely.
Wow.
With a jump shot.
I think we could have had the potential to at least be a lot closer in this game had we got
most definitely.
Some more of our foul shots. Not all of them, just most of them.
Ooh, is that another two?
Oh my gosh.
I would say Christensen's the offensive player of the game on Ashland right now. He's been putting in work.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask that towards the end of the night. I think that's going to be a foul. Yeah, Russell right there with the foul. That's his third, though. Yikes.
Do they count them by game or do they count them by half?
By game.
Okay, because I noticed they reset the fouls.
Yeah, so they'll reset the total foul meter, but 5 fouls and you're out of the game.
Right.
So got to be careful there. But another little thing to note is DePerrin has a technical here.
Yes, he does.
Today,
and we were talking about how that may not have sat well with him, as we're seeing from his play.
Yeah, but one thing to note: if he gets another technical,
is he out?
He's out.
Wow.
And I think the way MIAA rules are set up, I think if he gets kicked out of the game for 2 technicals, I think he's also out the next game.
Wow.
I think there's that potential. So.
But it's not like you can take him out. DePerrin's kind of the rock of this team right now.
Yeah. He's not always the best scorer, I would say. But, I mean, passing it around the key, running the plays, he is a rock on this team.
Arms to Christensen, and is that going to be offensive? That seemed pretty clean from Ruby.
No, that's going to be a defensive, I think. No. Never mind. That's not an offensive or a defensive. That's just it's gonna be a straight turnover. We're getting a little confused in this game.
Yeah, true.
This is an interesting one.
And who's going to take the inbound here? Looks like Norton. Passing around the key. Kearsley back to Baker. Baker to McAller, and he's going to drain a 3. That's going to put Norton up almost 20 points here. And suddenly that lead that Ashland was kind of cutting in half is slowly gaining back to the start of the second quarter.
That is true. Christensen out to DePerrin. DePerrin
going to put up, is that a 3 of his own? It absolutely is.
That's a 3 of his own. And I think that's going to be an Ashland timeout here. And I'm not sure. I thought timeout counters reset, but I guess not, as Ashland now only has 2 timeouts remaining in this game.
That's rough that they don't reset, because you can't even fault them. They've been using them very strategically.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing here is they're going to, try and get that momentum back and take away some of Norton's as well.
Yeah.
That's the big thing about their timeouts. Last time it was to take away Norton's momentum, which, of course, ends up turning into momentum of your own.
Yeah, and I would say it certainly worked the last time out they called.
A little bit of a pendulum swing, would you say?
That's what momentum is a lot of the time.
So some things to note here. New Year's Eve, there were some basketball games. This is NBA, though. NBA talk here. Your very own Boston Celtics managed to beat the Brooklyn Nets 108-105.
Ooh, nail-biter.
But that's fine. That's last year's news. A couple of jokes here. No. I mean, it's a bad joke. But
I haven't watched the Celtics since last year.
They're a lot more exciting this year, I'd say. Team to watch out there right now. First in the East, I believe, still. Double check me on that, but I believe that's the stat.
And we're going to get right back into the game here. Ooh, is that going to be McAller for 2? And it looks like Norton is not afraid to take those jump shots and 3s now, where they kind of focused on their fast breaks before, and Ashland caught on to that. Looks like they're adapting themselves.
Arms battling through. Kearsley unable to finish. I think that's going to be a foul on Kearsley. Yep, it's going to be a Kersley foul as he runs right into Christensen's chest.
Yeah.
And
that was good
yeah, we're gonna
awareness
get-
from Ashland, though, to get down there and recognize that fast break coming.
yeah,
As soon as Arms threw it away, you saw half the Ashland defense go right back to stop Kersley.
drive underneath. And the attempt to pass by Morrison.
Oh, it's a
silly.
travel.
Oh,
It's travel for McAller. McAleer. Whoever one pronounces his name.
Griffin. Gryffindor? Is this Harry Potter? Nope. I'm in the wrong place. All right, got to get going, folks. No, I'm kidding. Griffin McAleer? McAller? I'm going to go with McAller. It's easier to say. The shot, Ashland, no good. Brought up by...
And
Can we
McAller.
just call him Gryffindor? No. I made the joke. I mean, it's got to stick.
And Ruby can't finish. First time tonight we've seen Ruby unable to drain a
finish down
layup.
low. He is a beast down low. And
Is
he
that
is
DeParent
definitely
for another three? Wow, you said DeParent wasn't a shooter in the first half, but he's proven you wrong.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I want him to prove me wrong.
No, absolutely.
I thought that was all ball, but apparently that's a foul.
I didn't see
thought
it,
that was
actually.
all ball. I believe that was number 3 of Ashland, Kevin Rabidou. Yeah, that's who they're going to call a foul on. As McAleer goes to the line. He'll drain his first. And we'll see about this second shot. But as I was saying before, yes, your Boston Celtics won technically last year on the last day, 12-31-17, and they are first in the Eastern Conference.
Is that going to be another timeout for Ashland? Oh, no,
No,
Norton
this is
used
going to
it.
be a Norton timeout, finally. I think they're noticing, though, that Ashland's starting to get that pendulum swing.
Right, the gears are starting to churn for Ashland. I wouldn't say it's enough yet to kind of to bring it back, but the gears are starting to turn.
That's a key word, is yet.
Yeah, no, we saw the momentum. It seems that at the end of these quarters, Ashland really starts to get into gear and start scoring and figuring out what they need to do. But Norton's been really good at changing it up on them.
Well, Ashland 31, Norton 49 is your score right now.
Yeah, almost a 20-point lead for Norton, keeping the distance despite Ashland's best efforts.
And it's weird, though. It's an 18-point lead for Norton, but you get this feeling that Ashland is still in this game. Can't talk.
I mean, they're playing like they're still in the game. I would never call something early, but it's not looking good for Ashland. But they're not playing that way. They're playing as if it's a 2-point ball game.
The pass outside, the drive underneath, the floater's no good. Norton gets the rebound, pass outside. They'll start their drive here, pass to McAleer. Pass inside, drive underneath, no good from Jared Sicard, and it looks like we're gonna have an Ashland ball. It looks like some confusion. McKinley Kersley looking at his Norton bench with the question face.
Yeah, the classic hands up, like, well, what's going on?
I thought he was doing it to the ref at first.
Ooh, DeParent. Ooh,
Oh.
Ashland can't finish that drive and can't get the rebound from Ruby. But I mean, not really going to fault them for their for lack of ability to get a rebound from Ruby.
Drive underneath, Kersley. He's stuffed at the basket.
Absolutely, but are
It's
they
going to
gonna?
remain Norton ball, but good job not a foul.
Not a foul.
That's a key thing right there. That was all ball. Norton pass outside.
Ruby going to inbound to Sicard. Sicard to McAleer. Back to Sicard. Oh, Ruby with the, oh my goodness. Ruby with the spin move. Breaks the ankles of one of the Ashland defenders and puts it up for himself.
And head coach of the Norton Lancers, Mark Liberator. Is it Liberator or Liberatore?
Liberatory.
Liberatory. Anyways, he's in his 17th season. That is noted on this roster.
Yeah, very commendable.
So it is important. Doing a great job with this team, obviously.
Right. Something's going right as we're winding down the third quarter here.
I think that's going to be a foul. That's going to be Jared Sicard's third.
That's not a good look for the captain. Clearly, they want Jared Sicard in there and staying as kind of the rock for this team, along with McKinley.
I would agree. At least we're seeing Nick Ruby. I don't know how many fouls he has, but I don't think I think he has like one, maybe two.
Yeah, for such a big guy, he's been playing amazingly clean from what I've seen.
Yeah, he's definitely been playing one of the cleaner games from a big man that we've seen.
Yeah.
And for a big man, too, something we should have said before, he's good at the line.
He's amazing at the line. I don't think he's missed.
Was he 2 for 2?
I believe he was 2 for 2.
On his only time up. Norton with the drive.
Doesn't have the Shaq syndrome.
That is true.
I don't know much about basketball, but I do know that.
You know that Shaq isn't a shooter.
Ooh. And
good job by Christensen. The deep ball, no good.
That was a good play by Christensen, though. Stuffs Ruby
good
and then takes it for himself.
I did not even see the clock.
Neither did I.
So good awareness from him. It comes up a little short, but it looked pretty much on target.
Yeah.
So
and for him to just
props.
stuff Ruby and then turn and huck a shot like that is pretty impressive. I couldn't do that. Couldn't do that in a million years.
So 35 seconds left in this little quarter break. Getting ready to bring you fourth quarter action here at Ashland High School. You're watching Ashland High School varsity boys basketball as Ashland takes on Norton. Ashland down 31-51, but playing a hard game. Despite what the score says, this has been a hard-fought game, and I think with a couple more made foul shots, Ashland could really be in this one a lot closer. I think this really could be a much closer game.
I think Norton. I think it's pretty clear that they're just a I wouldn't say better team, but more well-rounded team.
I think I would have to agree.
And so to see Ashland going out there and still giving it their all, it's I hate to say it, but the underdog stories don't always work out. But it's nice to see that Ashland hasn't given up or thrown in the towel or anything, despite being down 20 points. Because as I always say, it's the experience that's really goes a long way.
I would have to agree.
And as we say that was Russell. Russell puts up a three.
I told you he's good. He's got some range. He hasn't seen the ball match yet on offense, though.
No, he's been putting in work on defense, but I think that's only his second three, which is still impressive. But for somebody who they kind of put out there.
Underneath, that was number 14, Sean McNichols. DeParent driving, backing up. Good pass outside. The shot. No good. Better job by Christensen getting that offensive rebound. Pass outside. The shot
Ooh, in
No
and out.
good. Close, though. Kevin Russell got robbed.
Yeah, that was almost the third three for him this game. And I don't know, if I'm Ashland, that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to get back in this game real quick
Yeah,
with those threes.
And I think what Ashland's doing at this point is they're going to start doing their threes and running the press.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I don't know if that's the smartest idea, because that works to Norton's big advantage, which is the fast break.
Fast break.
Oh, stuffed
By the net
hoop.
there, yeah. Ooh, that was quite a drive by Cameron Hardy from Ashland.
We're going to see. That's going to be a foul on number 20 of Norton, Jared Sicard. That's his fourth. You got to watch out. One more and he's done.
Oh, like we
Again.
were saying, we really got to hit those free throws. Oh,
Yeah.
there's Russell.
Oh, they're going to call a foul on Russell. As McNichols will go to the line here. Wait, is that
No,
no
they're not
foul?
gonna.
No foul. Okay,
I mean, Russell's doing his job then. Russell's standing under the net.
good job. I was worried that was another foul. He must have had his hand on the ball, which is a good thing. Just shows some great defense.
Woo!
Stuffed by number 3 of Ashland, Kevin
Oh.
Rabidou. And Ashland unable to convert that into points until another steal.
McAller trying to be. Well, he certainly had the awareness to intercept the ball going to Russell, and then instantly gets swarmed with like 4 Ashland defenders and really couldn't stay on top of it. And that's Hardy back to the line.
Hardy to the line. Got to turn this into points right here. Ashland down 36-53. The first shot no good. And seriously, this is one of those games where foul shot, the foul line, shooting could really make a difference here.
Yeah,
Look,
I want to say they've missed.
2 missed shots in a row. I think they're well under 50% so far.
Oh
this
yeah,
game.
easily under 50%. I think they've missed probably 12 points in free throws.
I think we're looking at more than that when you count the 1-and-1s.
Oh well, yeah, when you count the 1-and-1s, it's probably more like 15, 16. And when you look at the score, even if you add half of that, it's a much closer game.
That's what I was saying a little bit earlier. But I think if you could make 10 points, if you could make 60% of what you missed, you're talking about a 46-53 game.
Yeah.
It's a much closer game than what we're seeing right now. And that's why I also keep saying that Ashland has played a tough game, and it seems like they're in this much more than the score says.
That's true. If they could match how fired up they are on offense with their consistency in free throws, I think they could have they could give Norton a run for their money.
Yeah.
But right now it's just too many missed chances, and you give Norton chances like this to lengthen their lead, and that's not a good look.
Yeah. Kersley misses both at the line. But one thing to note too is Norton, I think, has realized the potential of Ashland, and they're playing their starters a lot.
Yeah.
They are continuing to play a lot of their starters. So
They did take Sicard out, as you mentioned, because he had four fouls.
I was gonna say that's not because of that's not because they think they can rest him. That's because of the 4 fouls. Otherwise, I think they'd have him in there right now.
Yeah.
I think they're worried that Ashland could actually come back from this, and that's why they're waiting to unleash him till later on in the game. Pass outside, shot, no good. Is that going to be a jump?
Somehow, that was either, I think that was Russell that somehow managed to pull that rebound down from Ruby, but then instantly runs right into another Norton defender.
They're going to call that a jump ball. Ashland had won them before. They, if you see the arrow by the scoreboard, it's now on Norton. So the next time there's a jump ball, Norton will get it. And that's how jump balls work. So some interesting things that you see, because I always forget about that. I always forget about the jump ball rule.
Right,
So
I had no idea.
If two people have possession of the ball, if it's hard to tell who truly has possession, they're just going to call jump ball.
Right.
And that is completely based on the first jump ball, which we saw Ashland seemed to have won it, but I think that they jumped a little too early. I don't know what happened exactly there. I think you have to wait as the ball's coming down, and Ashland managed to nab it on the way up.
Right.
So,
speaking of Ashland, they're using their second to last timeout here.
So 15 seconds left in that. They're going to quickly break. But, so Connor, what are you doing this weekend, sir?
What am I doing this weekend? I have no plans.
No plans?
No, I'm not.
We have got an exciting day of games. I'm going to be on my couch all weekend. I don't know about you.
What do we have for the NFL and the NBA?
We have the NFL playoffs, the wild card round this weekend, as we prepare for Kersley. His shot at the line is good, which means he will get a second. It's 1-1 territory here for Ashland. But yeah, as he takes the second shot, does he get? No, okay. For a second, I thought they were giving him 3. But again, wild card weekend. On Saturday, we have an exciting matchup. The Titans and the Chiefs will start it off at 4 o'clock on Saturday, or 4:30, I should say. And then at 8:15, the Falcons and the Rams. Again, that's Saturday. And then Sunday, 1 o'clock, we got Bills Jags. And at 4:30, we have Panthers Saints.
Action-packed weekend for the NFL.
Yeah, so getting exciting here. Sorry, I'm saying Ashland. The New England Patriots have a first-round bye, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC. And then I think it's the Eagles and the Titans in the NFC who have first-round byes.
Eagles actually doing quite well this year, right? Which is pretty abnormal.
They were, and now they lost their star quarterback.
Ooh.
So we'll have to see how Nick Foles does. They had Carson Wentz before, and now I'm going to call it a downgrade to Nick Foles. It's definitely a downgrade after the, MVP-worthy season. As we see Norton having an MVP kind of day.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to relate it back here to what's on the court. Ball surprisingly over the outstretched hand of Nick Ruby. That's one of the rare times.
Yeah, you don't say that often. And is this going to be the last timeout? No, it's a Norton timeout.
So Ashland 38, Norton 54. Ashland down by 16 here. We got some cheerleader action going on in the background.
And we got a pretty sizable crowd here.
Yeah, we do.
They were getting in. The Ashland crowd was getting into it when some of the Norton players were taking their free throws.
And something I wanna mention here is, as you're seeing right now, this is a whole new setup that we have at WACA-TV for basketball. Currently, we are on the opposite side that we are normally on. Usually you see the players doing their thing, and then in the background you're going to see the benches.
Yeah.
And you're going to see who's on the bench. Now you don't
got
see
the crowd.
that. You
Yeah.
get the crowd in the background, which I personally love that even more because you can see when the crowd gets excited and everything. So you see all that, and we're getting back to the action. But of course, one of the things that I love. So we're behind the team benches now. We have some robotic cameras around. So that's one of them's getting the scoreboard that you can see in the bottom right corner. And then we have another one behind the hoop.
Yeah, that shot that you've been seeing on the where players taking free throws.
Yeah, in the second half, it's been Ashland's free throws. In the first half, it was Norton's free throws. And yeah, that's potentially one of my favorite shots right there.
Yeah,
is that
absolutely.
behind the hoop. And I actually have the controls for that in front of me right now, because the announcer's table is we moved it to the booth area. We don't quite have a booth per se, but we tend to like it in our little. We have a little corner in the gym,
Yeah, our little alcove here.
which is a little favorite spot for me. This is usually where we would just leave equipment and stuff before. This is where we would bring it in and then set it up beforehand. But now we have a nice portable switcher and everything, and
Right, yeah.
yeah, our what we call the not so portable switcher. The thing is ginormous.
The thing is, definitely could not fit on a plane if you wanted it to.
You're gonna have to pay extra for
You're going to have
that.
to pay a lot extra if you want to get this thing on a plane.
Speaking of that, we saw Ashland Community Theater's Gate 19. That's actually where I got that line from. So you're going to have to pay extra for that on Extra Airlines. So thanks to Joe White giving us the opportunity to go down and film that play. We have some behind the scenes if you want to check that out as well at WACA-TV.
Right, and
You can find us on Vimeo.
of course,
and-
all the
and there's
ACT
someone-
stuff is
Yep.
all there.
Yep.
ACT's been a very generous sponsor over the years.
Yep. And then, of course, don't forget to check out our YouTube and Vimeo pages. I said Vimeo before, but don't forget about YouTube. That's where you can find these games as well.
True, all the
That's-
games.
That's something that's not said very often on these broadcasts, but check us out on YouTube. We have all these games up after the fact. Give us a couple of days, and we'll have it up and ready to go for you. As we wind down on this timeout, Ashland 38, Norton 55. Ashland down 17 currently.
3 minutes left.
Again, Norton is not backing down. You know, it's one of those things. They are still playing hard.
Yeah, no, there's no. You need a rally right now, and Norton is not really the team to kind of give Ashland that opportunity.
Yeah, well, and because they've seen what Ashland has they have that potential.
The tenacity.
It's just not it's not showing so much tonight. Some unlucky breaks, some poor shot choices and things like that. Things that could be fixed with some extra practice time. Sometimes you never know what ends up happening over the break. You have, kids going away. They don't get
Right,
the full
true.
practices in. And, maybe Norton had a better week of practice than Ashland did.
And that's
And
going
that
to be
could
Kevin
be the
Rabideau
difference.
putting up a jump shot. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're totally right. That's a factor coming back from the long winter break for these high schoolers. They don't have normal practices. They take a week off from basketball and they come back. Some of their throws might be a little rusty. Yeah, especially if they traveled or something. Big travel time.
Yep, talking to some of the teachers and staff at Ashland High School and hearing that, people are still on vacation for the rest of the week, too. There are some kids. Oh my gosh, the parent, if he drained that, I would have had to walk away.
Right. That was such a, I don't know, a bait.
He might have broken that poor kid's ankles. That was an absolute ankle breaker. That step away. That fake.
Ruby with the rebound.
He's a beast. He's going to the line.
Yeah.
He knows it too.
He goes up,
He's
gets
not
hit.
even looking at the ref.
Yeah.
He's just walking right to the line.
And a 15-point game for Ashland now.
Minute 22 left as Ruby steps up to the line, staring longingly at the rim. He's going to miss that one. But he's been fantastic from the line tonight.
Yeah.
He is not a bad shooter. He's not a Shaq.
He's not a Shaq by any stretch.
Although he can play like Shaq down low against
Absolutely.
this Ashland team. They're going to take Ruby out of the game, meaning Norton is taking Ruby out of the game, as Norton jumps to a 16-point lead with a minute remaining. I think now they're okay just having their second stringers in there.
Yeah, it was kind of feasible before Ruby hit that last free throw, because it was a 15-point game, so 5 three-pointers. It's not easy, but 5 3-pointers could tie it up. But now, that's just not really in the.
Oh my gosh, look at Jason Arms down low. He has been blocking some of these passes.
He's not letting anything
Blocked
by
2
him.
in a row.
1 minute left in the game. He doesn't care. He'll still block it. There he goes again. This time, I think, unfortunately, drawing a foul. But
Is that him? I think that's Trevor DeParron
oh yeah, it is actually. You are correct.
draws that foul.
And number 11 from Norton.
They're saying that's only his 3rd, though. I thought he had more, but that's good for Ashland. DeParron getting that technical early, and after that fired him up.
They fired him up.
That really drove him, and he's having
Not usually
heck of a game.
Absolutely, not usually a shooter, but for all intents and purposes, he was one tonight, putting up a bunch of threes, a bunch of jump shots, some layups.
I think Trevor's that type of person, though. He's not too much of a shooter. He'll take his shots when he's wide open, but I mean, you're talking about a kid who is so smart.
Right.
He's not big for a basketball player.
But I mean,
And-
you look at tonight, could have fooled me that he's not a shooter.
Yeah, but he's that kid. You can expect 10 assists a game from him.
Yeah.
I think you can expect at least 20 to 30 points off his assists.
And as this game's going to wrap up here, final score. Oh,
40 to 59. I think
yeah,
we can
final
call it.
score is going to be 40 to 59. Norton's going to take it. Ashland keeps it under a 20-point spread, but unfortunately they're gonna walk away with the L on this one. That's not to say that they didn't play their best, though.
That you have to agree with that. And one of the big things that I have to talk about here is player of the game. Who are we giving that to for Ashland?
For Ashland, I think it's pretty decisive who I'd give it to for Norton. But for Ashland, I think I'd probably give it to Jason Christensen. Jason Christensen or Trevor DeParron.
I'm going to have to give it to Trevor DeParron after that. After a little bit of adversity in that first sequence of the game, he had himself a day.
Definitely.
He had himself a day.
I think first half I would give it to Christensen because Christensen was kind of the rock that really kept the scoring alive, putting up some mean drives and some nasty layups in there. But in the second half, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you that DeParron really came into his own.
And how about Norton here? We're gonna talk about Norton, and it's hard not to talk about McKinley Kersley. He did some good stuff, but I think we both have to agree.
It's
Who's your
Ruby.
man? It's Ruby.
It's Ruby.
Nick Ruby, number 34.
What a
the
beast.
senior forward. Just had an absolute beast of a game. He's an absolute beast of a kid. And with that, those are your players of the game for both sides.
And again, one more time, the final score is going to be 40 to 59. Norton's going to walk away with the W. And here at Ashland High School, when's the next game? Friday, I believe?
Yep, Friday. We're going to have to wait and see because there's a snowstorm coming on Thursday.
Oh, that's true.
We didn't talk much about that, but we'll have to see after that big snowstorm that's supposed to be happening Thursday. We could see some action that night still. But again, we're gonna play the wait and see game, and with that,
Yeah,
I've
until
been
then.
Todd Carter,
And I've been Connor Donovan.
and on behalf of Jake, who we hope gets better soon,
Absolutely.
I would like to say good night and
Go Clockers.